Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. So in the last video we joined up with Yuan Shao and joined his forces and we became a sworn brother of Zhang He as well. We also done some more quest battles as well. We participated in some invasions, we done some raids, and we also joined up with Yuan Shao. So in this video, we're basically going to be continuing with that. We're basically going to be continuing with Yuan Shao, things like that. So basically, I did some things outside of gameplay as well. So basically, I've done some more quest battles to build up. So then you can see some more cutscenes, things like that. Progressed a little bit further, so there's more things taken, and basically just trying to get the things ball rolling to try and get to the rank of prefect or to the rank of marshal or strategist. Just to the rank of them sort of things as well. So, yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get as high rank as we can underneath Yuan Shao. And then we'll see if we can raise our banner as well. So raise our own banner underneath Yuan Shao. But again, like I said, I really hope that you're enjoying the gameplay. I really hope that it's to your liking. Yeah, and we're also going to be talking about some more officers as well in this battle, in this gameplay as well. So yeah, so there we go. So we're also going to be talking about some more people as well in this battle. So we might as well start with one of them being Zenji, who we see. So Zenji, this lady, is a officer who was originally under the service of Yuan Shao, who actually married. She actually married Yuan Shao's son. She actually married Yuan Shao's son originally, but basically during the battle of Guanyu, basically Shao Pi took a liking for her, and basically under his father's vision, basically, he then recruited her, and basically Shao Pi made her his wife. So wherever Shao Pi went, she went with, basically. So a massive influential figure for Wei. So she became the Wei Empress, the Wei Queen, because Shao Pi, when he took over the Wei reigns after Shao died, Shao Pi then took over and then declared himself Emperor of Wei. So Wei then went a bit more forward in the world. And basically, yeah. So Zenji, she wasn't they didn't really have a happy marriage. In this is shown that basically she's like a devoted wife and all of that sort of jazz. But in actual retrospect, in history, the relationship between them both wasn't as it seems. They always used to have falling outs. He always used to cheat on her. I know that I was sort of not cheat, but he had a concubine where basically he conceived children from her. But he was initially married to Zenji, and Zenji, yeah, didn't really have a happy marriage with him, which is quite sad. Which is quite the norm for that sort of time, where basically everyone was yeah, not really loyal, as of say. Haha. There we go. I think I didn't do that in time. Oh, I did. Yes. But yeah, so basically Zenji tried her best to make it a happy marriage, but I don't think it really happened for her, which is quite sad, really. But yeah, so Zenji originally married to bang. There we go. Basically, originally married to Yuan Shu's son. And we also have a few officers as well that I'd like to talk about. One of them being Guo Shun. Guo Shun was a officer who was very loyal to Lubu and was with Lubu from the very beginning, during Sharpie and stuff as well. As you can see there, Ding Yong was released. Guo Shun, there he is. Guo Shun is, and then basically during the Battle of Shun, I don't really know that much about him, but I do know one of his main things. During the Battle of Sharpie, he was basically in charge of protecting the floodgates of Sharpie. But what happened was he was ambushed. And he was subsequently killed during the Battle of Sharpie, and the floodgates were opened, which is quite sad. So he was out. So the floodgates actually opened because of that. Xing Ping is originally someone who served Yuan Shao. Lu Xing again, Yuan Shao. Song Xiong was basically during the Battle of Sherpi. He basically betrayed betrayed Lubu, and then joined Cao Cao, and then went into Cao Cao's forces. I don't really know much else what happened to him afterwards, but yeah. So that Wei Shu again also he also done exactly the same. He basically left Lubu, betrayed Lubu during the Battle of Sherpi, and then joined Cao Cao. And then when the Guanyu were trying to escape from Cao Cao to get back to Liu Bei, he was basically on one of the gates, and he tried to duel Guanyu, where Guanyu killed him in one blow. That's him, Cao Shu. So he's a playable officer in Dynasty Warriors 9, not in this game. And Cao Shu was basically the cousin of Liu Bei. Not Liu Bei. What am I talking about? He was basically the cousin of Are you kidding? He was basically the cousin of see if we can make a alliance. There we go. So you can also form an alliance as well with other kingdoms, if you wish. But yeah, so basically, I like how they're both prefects. Yeah, and basically, what Cao Shu, he was basically with Cao Cao from the very beginning, and what happened was that he was always loyal, always done what was needed of him, things like that. Yeah, and basically he done everything that was needed of him of the time. Yeah, basically. And then eventually what happened was that and basically what happened was eventually that he and basically, yeah, he was then tricked by a Wu officer of Zhao Fang, and during that battle with Zhao Fang, he was tricked, and and Zhao Fang even done it so much that he actually cut off his luscious hair, as it was described, and betrayed to Wei, and during that Zhao Fang then betrayed Cao Shu and basically let in the Wu forces. It was a strategy planned by him, Lu Xun, and I think Xu Sheng of Wu was also involved. And Cao Shu basically got ill due to embarrassment and died. So there's that little history fact for you. Weird. So we got some more things. So we've done some more infiltration missions. We've got escort missions. Rescue the city. Infiltrate the official's residence. Rescue the city. Rescue the village. Infiltrate the armory. So we need to do some guards, I think. So if we do guard the merchants. So we need to do some more guards as well. Oh, look who we have here now. There we go. Take defensive positions. So, because he's in this battle, we may as well talk about the very famous officer, Lubu. So we might as well talk about the very famous officer of Lubu. So Lubu is the emperor of Shu, and basically at the beginning of his military career, basically his sole goal was basically to restore the Han, Empire to what it originally was. And basically that was his sole mission during what he wanted to do. And he was a officer of and basically he started off life as selling sandals. He used to create sandals and sell them. And that was what he used to do at the beginning of his life. And so what happened was basically he then became a volunteer unit with and then just before the Battle of the Yellow Turban, he basically went to the Peach Garden and formed a formed an oath with formed a sworn and became sworn brothers. So formed an oath with two officers who are also very famous. That being Guanyu, and that also being Zheng Fei. And and basically there are his two sworn brothers by oath. And so he formed an alliance with them, and then he formed an oath for them, and then they both, then all three of them volunteered in the Yellow Turban Rebellion, where they made a name for themselves. And then the same with the battle of the coalition against Dong Zhao. They again formed a coalition where they then fought against Dong Zhao, and then they was known for that as well. But after that battle, Cao Shao so after that battle, he was dead. Oh my days, Guanyu! So after that battle, basically, he was then offered refuge with what's his name? Tycoon. His name was. Basically, Tycoon became old, and he was basically in charge of Sherpi. And basically, he was becoming old. Basically, he was becoming old and things like that. And so basically, he then gave his castle and all of his followers to Liu Bei to look after. And so Liu Bei went out to help. Who did he go to help? I think he actually went to go and help Cao Cao. He went to go and help Cao Cao, and basically what happened was, like you heard, Sherpi happened, Guanyu, Thingy betrayed him, Lubu betrayed him, then he lost his thing, and blah blah blah. And then basically he then went on the run after that, because Cao Cao then wanted to recruit him, and he said no, and he saw the power that Liu Bei had at Shangban. And basically, he then visited Zhuge Liang 3 times, and he was told that he should form a government of benevolence, and that is what he tried to do. So basically, he then went to seek refuge with Liu Biao, and basically Liu Biao was then died of illness, and then his son then took charge. And then his son basically gave over. Yeah, probably. Lubu! Yeah. And then basically his son then took charge and basically gave up all of his territories, and literally, basically, as soon as Cao Cao was about to attack, he surrendered everything. And then that's when the Battle of Shangban happened, and peasants and all of them soldiers, then and all of the peasant soldiers and stuff, then all of the peasant soldiers and stuff then joined with Liu Bei. And then after that, he then fled to Wu, and then they formed the Battle of, and then and then with the help of Zhuge Liang, he then formed the alliance. Then done that. So basically, after all of that, he then set up a base in Shu, which was not Shu, Q, and basically set up a like a base there. And then basically he had a relative, Liu Jian. And basically, he invaded his own relative, by the thing of Pang Tong. By the orders of Pang Tong, they said he has to do it to create his own land, to even come close to fighting against, to coming close to forming a thing against Wu and Wei, and that's what he did. And from there, he then created the territories of Shu, and then the Shu Kingdom happened. And then he formed a political marriage with Wu, with Shang Shang, and basically Zhao Yu plotted to kill Liu Bei during that marriage as well, but it was then thwarted. That was the last thing that Zhao Yu ever done, because he thought that Liu Bei was going to become too powerful, which, yeah. And then Feng Castle, Wu betrayed, Guanyu was killed, and then Zhang Fei was then assassinated by two of his subordinates, and then his body was then taken. I thought it was his head; it was his whole body. His body was taken to Wu as basically a prize to basically join up the two soldiers to join Wu. And then Liu Bei was then enraged and then attacked Wu, and then that led to a massive military defeat. And then his life was then cut short because he fell ill, and then he died soon after. Liu Bei, basically, everyone in the Three Kingdoms, he was the one that fought the hardest to get to where he was. Because he literally started off with nothing. Nothing. He started off with absolutely nothing. And then he rose up and became who he was. So fair play. So that's Liu Bei. We also have another officer here that we have not spoken about, who we will now speak about. And that officer is none other. Enhanced by... Increase allied officers. Defensive side increasing. Well, that one. I might put iron walls up. Yeah, and basically, so what was we talking about? I need to not attack next turn. I need to rest. There you go, Shamok. This battle sounds intense. I got rid of Poisonous Smith. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I was talking about. So another officer is available for us to talk about. And that warrior is none other than the very famous, the very great Lubu. So Lubu was originally an officer underneath, serving underneath Ding Yuan. Ding Yuan was just a low, basically adopted Lubu as a son. And then basically Dong Zhao took a liking to Ding Yuan. And basically he then betrayed Ding Yuan and actually killed him. And then Dong Zhao then took him in as a son. And basically at the Battle of Hulao Gate, he stood at Hulao and basically defended it from all forces that tried to enter he basically defended it from all forces that tried to enter the proximity of Hu Lao. And basically everyone was weary of Lubu. Everyone was scared of Lubu because Lubu was at that time the strongest warrior in the land by miles. He was the strongest warrior in the land because he's known for having expert precision with a bow. He's known for being expertly trained with a weapon. And funny thing, he's not actually from China. He's from just above China. So if I get a map up quickly. So he's basically from the areas just above China. So he's not originally actually from China. So if we get it up on maps, oh, no place was found. So he's basically from the above region, just above the Han in Wuhuyan. He was basically born, and then he came into China, and basically he was known as the greatest warrior in the land. Oh, I just nearly withdrew. He's basically known for being the greatest warrior in the land, and basically stood at Hu Lao and didn't let no one pass. He was an impregnable force. And then basically what happened, he then betrayed Dong Xiao as well, and because of the treachery of Diao Chan, and basically he assassinated Dong Xiao, and then he left the capital. And then I think he went to serve under Yuan Shao for a tiny bit, just to fight and things like that. And then basically what happened was, after that, he then, the only person that would actually take in Lubu after that was none other than Liu Bei. And then during that time, he was placed in charge of the basically placed in charge of the defense of he was basically placed in charge of the defenses of defenses of Shepi, along with Shun Fei. And what happened was Shun Fei basically got drunk, and there was and Shun Fei, people who was loyal to Liu Bei, basically betrayed Liu Bei because of the resentment and stuff that they was actually getting. They was actually getting whipped and stuff by him, by Liu Fei, because of how drunk he was. And basically they then betrayed him, and then opened doors for Lubu to basically all of Lubu's forces to pounce, and that is exactly what they did. And then they took over Shepi, and then a coalition was formed. Underneath, there he is. So a coalition was formed underneath the banners of Liu Bei and Shao Shao to basically take back Shepi, because they knew that if it transpired, then basically if they let him happen and let him carry on the way he was, then basically it would have fallen. Lubu would have gained loads of momentum and would have been able to take over and would have been able to cause a lot of destruction to the land. Again, not a nice man. He wasn't a very nice man in history. Reinforcements have arrived. I'll set up that alliance, just saying. Yeah, and basically, yeah, so, and basically a coalition was formed to beat Lubu. Again, Lubu was, just before the night of the attack, Lubu got drunk. Basically celebrating his, basically trying to celebrate his victory, for some reason, even though he hadn't actually completely taken over the bases of, That's him, Tai Wu. And basically took over. And basically he got drunk the night before the actual attack. And then what subsequently happened was that the coalition then flooded Sha Pi, and then Sha Pi was then lost. He basically called in reinforcements from Yuan Shu as well, and Yuan Shu arrived late, and they weren't able to actually release. Basically what happened was basically what happened was, what transpired was that Lubu eventually lost. Lubu actually begged for his life. Believe that. Lubu actually begged for his life and actually begged to stay alive, and actually pleaded to Cao Cao and said that he is the greatest warrior in the land. Imagine having me underneath your service and having the greatest warrior in the land underneath your service. And Lubu basically, and Cao Cao basically said, why would I have someone who has betrayed every single one of their masters, every single one of their lords? And then he was subsequently executed. But they say in men, Lubu; in horses, red hair. And his famous spear, the Sky Piercer, is also his famous weapon that he carried around with him. Yeah. And basically that's what happened. He just, yeah. Yeah, because he was also known. Yeah. So yeah. There we go. Yeah. So he was always suspicious. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, that's basically what happened. I don't know if he ever had a daughter. I think this is fictitious. And he was basically given. Should I do that? Yeah. Why not? I'll join you, Heejin. Gonna participate in evasion. And then take on a quest. Yeah, and Lubu, and there's some things that's actually dramatized and fictionalized about Lubu's life. One of them being the love with the Chan. It was all basically fixed up that the assassinations and stuff to Dong Zhao by a warrior who was called Guanyu. There you go. I don't know if he actually had a daughter, but I'm not sure. But yeah, but I don't know if he ever had a daughter. Oh, he did have a wife and daughter. There we go. But they weren't recorded in history. Yeah, and he abandoned her after fleeing Chang'an, after killing Lubu, after killing Dong Zhao. But yeah, so there we go. So he did actually have a wife and daughter. So we have escort missions. I need to do them. Really? Assassinate, escort, guard the armory. I have guard the armory. Need to do that as well. Infiltrate the armory. Guard the traders. Infiltrate the vault. Escort the caravan. Assassinate the regional lord. Escort the caravan. We're going to do guard the armory. We're going to do that one. But yeah, so basically, yeah. He was known for his recklessness. He was basically, yeah, and he was known for being reckless and not being someone who was very loyal. And basically, he never really got on with anyone, and that was basically his downfall. So he couldn't stay with anybody. But yeah, so get out of my face. It seems crazy to think that actually it doesn't seem crazy in the eyes of Zhang Fei, because Zhang Fei was actually a pretty dick. It was not a very nice man. Hi Zenji. It's Guanyu. Oh yeah, that's another one we need to talk about. Of course we do. So, the very famous Guanyu, known for his magnificent beard, Guanyu, and also known as the God of War, was a sworn oath brother of was a sworn oath brother of the famous general yeah, was known as the sworn oath brother of the very famous Lubu. I made a name for himself at the battle of at the coalition of the Yellow Turban Rebellion. And basically, what he did as well, he also made a bigger name for himself. I love that these three are like together. I love that these three are the main people. And basically made a name for himself. Underneath the coalition, under them, and then during the coalition of Dong Zhao, basically, what happened was that basically, Hu Xiong, who was underneath the command of Dong Zhao, was basically in charge of Shishui Gate. Was basically in charge of Shishui Gate. And Shishui Gate was quite a big thing to actually get past, to actually get to Dong Zhao. And then, basically, during that time, he then had a duel. Guanyu and Hu Xiong had a duel. And basically, Guanyu, basically, in one fell swoop, killed Hu Xiong. Basically killed Hu Xiong, and everyone took notice of him after that. He also, him, Liu Bei, and Zhang Fei also challenged Lubu when he was defending Hu Lao, but they were subsequently defeated. And was subsequently defeated. But he made a massive name for himself. And then after that, they began roaming again, and basically doing a battle with Yuan Shao. He was basically involved. Basically, they were separated after that. Liu Bei, Zhang Fei, and Guanyu, because because again they were escaping from somewhere. I can't remember where for the life of me. And during that time, they were separated, and Guanyu was basically Shao Shao took a liking to Guanyu and asked Guanyu to join him. But in actual fact, he didn't. He asked to join him, and basically he said that I will join you for now, but until I see my brothers again, that will be the time that I will leave you. Fair enough. So basically, he then joined in the Battle of Guanyu, and he slayed the famous generals Yang Ling and Wen Chao, Yuan Shao's most prized generals. He slayed. Oh, Mango's getting invaded by two sides. He basically slayed them both. So he took Baimar and Yiling and took both of them castles, which then was a massive help. And then basically he then met up with Liu Bei, and Liu Bei, and him and Liu Bei basically he told Guanyu to escape from Shao Shao's clutches. And then he escaped. And then there's a battle that you can actually do in here called the Eight Gates, or Guanyu's escape. And basically he went through all of these gates and slayed loads of officers underneath the pursuit of Shao Dun, where Shao Dun could not catch up to Guanyu. And basically during all of this time, then all of that happened, he then became a military general underneath Liu Bei. He became, I think, the head of the 5 Tiger Generals, and he became even up to the rank of marshal. He had sons as well. He had a few sons. He had Guanxing. He had Guanshu. He had Bo Xiang. He had a daughter, but that's not in history. That he actually had a daughter. I think that was. I think he had a daughter, but it wasn't really in battles. That makes sense. So he had her. In fictitious in this game, but in history, I don't. So we don't include that. He had Guo Xing. He had Guo Sha. He had Guan Ping, which he adopted. And I think he may have had another son, but I can't remember off the top of my head what their name was. Anyway, during the Battle of Fun Castle, the Battle of Fun Castle happened. During the Battle of Fun Castle, he basically advanced. What he determined to do was basically he wanted to advance from Fun Castle and push into Wei. No, he advanced to Fun Castle. Cancel that. Which was under the protection of Shao Ren, who was a wall. And basically what he did was he advanced into Wei and advanced into Fun Castle. Wu had previously asked for their half of Shu back, because basically the agreement was that for the time being, because Shu and Wu always contested the middle region, which you see in the middle there with Liu Biao, Ku Xing, and Sun Jun, or the light blue, the purple, and the red area. And they basically always fought for that. And basically what happened was Guanyu basically told him, no, you're not having it. And then Wu went to Wei and basically formed a coalition against Guanyu. And after Guanyu had taken Fun Castle, he'd done a flood attack actually. After he took Fun Castle, he was then surrounded by the Wu and Wei forces, and then he tried to escape, but subsequently he could not escape. He was surrounded by the Wu and Wei army. And then, if I remember correctly, his son died, Guan Ping. He died in that battle. So did Zhao Shang. He also died in that battle. Yeah, he also died in that battle as well. It's Jing Province. Shu. What am I talking about? Shu. It's Jing Province. Jing Province was the reason they fought against. So he was captured by Wu. So basically, he was captured by Wu, and the Sun Quan forces executed Lubu, executed Guanyu. He was subsequently executed. He also had 2 sons. He had 2 children. Guangxu was not a real person. Right. Fair enough. My fault. So he had 2 children, Guanping, Guanxing, and he had at least 1 daughter. But, yeah. Yeah. He's still worshipped now by Chinese people as for his thing, for his achievements. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to say, basically yeah, he was executed by Wu, which then led to the Battle of Yiling and so forth and so forth. But I forgot to say as well, at the Battle of the Red Cliffs or Battle of Chirpi, he basically cornered Cao Cao and basically had Cao Cao in front of him. He was like, Cao Cao. And basically he had Cao Cao in front of him. He had the chance to slay Cao Cao, but he didn't, because basically he said that in his eyes, he basically said that you let me walk free, so I'm going to let you walk free. And so basically he repaid his debt to Cao Cao by letting him go free. That was basically his debt. That was basically his debt repaid. To basically save Cao Cao. So yeah, that's him. So basically that's him. That's Guanyu. He also took I don't know how he managed to get it, but he also managed to take command of Red Hair after Thingy was killed. After Lubu was killed, he took command of it. So I don't know how. I don't know how he managed to get it, because he didn't get it after the battle of because he didn't take it, because he didn't get given it as an achievement for after the Battle of Sherpy. I have to Google that, but yeah. I also found out I said the wrong person's name for the person who was a childhood another childhood friend of Yuan Shao, who turned against Yuan Shao during the Battle of Guanyu. It was Go Tu. His name was the person's name that betrayed. But yeah, there you go. So I'm not going to do any more historical facts. You peons, just wait. I'll destroy every last one of you. Love Lubu. Haha. But yeah, so basically, yeah, there we go. And he's still worshipped now. There's like a massive monument dedicated to him in China. Haha. There's like a massive monument, like a bronze monument for him. It's quite cool, really. Oh, hi, Lubu. Let's go and take one of those unsightly positions. Retreat is unforgivable! Fight to the death! I love Lubu. I love this guy. As if Zhao Yun is like the bandit leader. That would never have happened in history. Zhao Yun killed a lot of people though. That much is true. In history, he killed quite a lot of famous officers. Zhao Yun. Yay! Thank you. I'm in your debts. Anytime. Anytime. Officer official away. That's about a fun castle. He suggested that with monitoring were recommended. There we go. Well, not included in the invasion. What? Guard the merchants. Guard the armory. We've done that one. Guard the merchants. Escort. No. Escort. Guard the traders. Retail rest. Oh, yay! I'm allowed to join in. Defeat officers, defeat a specific officer. Okay, we can do that. So this might be the last battle, and then I will come off. I think that's what we're going to do. We still have Swift Raid, Poison Mist, Resolute Defense, Unity. What shall we have? Shall we? We'll have Ranged Torrent. I like Poisonous Mist. Who else? Is anybody else in this battle? No. Come on in. You want to be back? Come back now. Let's get this over with. Let's fight to the death. Yeah. Take them down. I knew it was going to take me there. And then I'll be classed as an officer. We have not done. We have not. We need to defeat more officers. That much is true. Let's keep attacking. Bang. Ooh. I do hope that you're all enjoying the content of Dynasty Warriors, because I know I am. I love playing Dynasty Warriors. It's one of my. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my favorite games. One of my favorite franchises. I just love Dynasty Warriors, if I'm honest. Dynasty Warriors is a massive favourite of mine, or the Warriors franchises, to be fair. My favourites. The 1 versus 1,000 sort of gameplay is just incredible for me. I just love it. I just think it's so cool. My men grow more fatigue. I must withdraw. Let them rest. Yeah, grow more fatigue. All right then. More like you lost and you couldn't cope with it. Woo! Oh, come on. We want to take these down because these spot torrents take out 100 troops straight away. So if we can take these both out together. There you go. Take that spot turrets. Oh, what? What's the NC doing here? Reinforcement from Li Yao. Take down that. You're not taking my base. You are gonna need to take me down because you're not taking me down anytime soon, lady. But I was not over yet. Oh no, he did. Oh, I retreated back to the main camp. Nice. Haha. Whoops. Still done the wrong guy. Whoops. Still done the wrong guy. Oh well. Feed them. Bust them up. Good. Oh, look, we captured some people. And he's recruited them all. I've released one. April. There we go. So, I will cut it off here. I may see if I can, oh, I can't. Oh, am I just a lieutenant? Rude. I think I'm just a lieutenant. Rude. Maybe become Paddy Paddy with our Lord. I'll boost us up. There you go, recover my troop strengths. Yay, got promoted to an officer. There we go. So basically later on, execute raids 3 times. Jeez. So basically later on, what you will see as well is that you can actually query. You can actually voice your opinion, which is quite cool. But yeah, so basically we're going to cut it off here. So I'd just like to thank you all so much again for liking, commenting, subscribing. It's all greatly appreciated. And it does not go unnoticed. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you all so much for liking, commenting, subscribing. It means so much to me. Yeah, so thank you all so much. So in the next battle, we will be carrying on. Oh, I still can't. So in the next battle, we will be carrying on our, so basically, yeah, so in the next battle, we will be carrying on our, we don't need official residence. God, the vault. We will be carrying on our gameplay of this amazing Quickly Repel the Bandits. Oh, I'll do that. And we will be carrying on this and basically seeing how high we can get. See if we can go right to the top. So yeah, so stay tuned, everyone. Remember, if you like the content, like, comment, subscribe. It's all great. It'll really help the channel. So thank you all so much. But until next time, I shall speak to you all soon. Take care, everyone, and stay safe. Bye, guys. Bye.